some plus I smoke. That's exactly what I need when I'm blowing on them trees.
What's up, everybody? It's the After Show, but later, episode number 317. Did I get that right, Luis?
Yep, yes, sir. 317.
317. First of all, before we get started, one thing I have to do is I have to thank Covino because today he gave a shout out to the After Show, but later, and he let everybody know that we were going to be live at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's a good plug because he's telling our audience, which is the Covino Rich listeners, we're going to be live. So you can't get a better endorsement than Covino saying, hey, go check them out tonight. So really appreciate that. I had a buttload of notes, left them on my computer, and not this computer, another computer. And yeah, so Covino's the real deal, says Andrew Fournier. And Andrew Sims says, what up, guys? Earlier I was telling my daughter, I have a really, really bad headache right now. Like my head is throbbing and it's been since like hours. And my daughter was like, she's like, well, then just don't do your live. And I was like, I have to do my live. I was like, people are waiting. She goes, who? And I go, well, you have Andrew Sims. I go, you have Andrew Fournier. You have Lisa. And she goes, you have a bunch of Andrews that listen. And I was like, yeah, that's why we call them the Drews. The Drews always show up. We have Lisa Peragio, we have Funky Monkey, we have Reinhardt, we have all the regulars. So we have to be here to give them their post Covino and Rich entertainment, right? So yeah, so my daughter didn't want me to be here. She wanted me to rest, which is understandable. But here we are. We have so much planned for you guys today. I'm excited because and you know what? I have not a friend in need, I wouldn't say necessarily, but I'm going to complain. And it's about somebody who is sometimes in the chat. So it's not you guys that are here. But I have a complaint, and I will go back and I will tell you guys where the complaint stems from. I will tell you the backstory on the complaint. And I just have so much. But before I get started on my complaining, and I feel like bitching right now because I have a headache. So I'm going to bitch. So, Luis, before I get started, what do you have to say? Anything you want to say or what's up or anything?
Nah, man, just wanted to say, thanks for having me again. And then, Covino, to give you a shout out and the show a shout out, but it was because of rocking your shirt too, bro. And I know last episode we talked about to stay tuned, right, for mail time. And where if anyone caught the after show, but later, and then made that connection. Obviously, that was was the connection you were trying to make. But I think you hit it on the head, bro. That shit was badass. I think it goes outside the box thinking. I think obviously Covino meant a lot to Covino, and at least he wore it. And I don't think he would wear it just to be nice. So I'm sure he liked it. Obviously, it's his fucking grandma. So, but it looked badass, bro. So shout out to you for that, and appreciate you showing up too, bro. I mean, hopefully this is like your Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan game. You know what I mean? Where you feel like shit, but it ends up being a hell of a show because I do appreciate you being here because I know it was rough and
I feel like it might.
So thanks for being here.
I feel like it might because I have a lot planned, and that's why I showed up. I did so much work. I hit you up earlier in the day, and I was like, "Can you send me this? I need this for the thumbnail." I was creating different screens and stuff because there's a couple of games I want to play. We have a game that we're gonna play today called "When Does It Get Zesty?" So you're going to have to stay around and find out about that. We have, we always take suggestions from listeners here on the After Show, but later. And last week, one of the Drews, Andrew Sims said, why don't you guys do the Spotify Wrapped? Your guys' is Spotify Wrapped, right? And I'll be honest, I don't want to share mine. I looked at it and it's pretty embarrassing. But being a team player, I'm sharing mine. Thank you, Luis, for sending me your stuff. I'm going to be sharing yours. I'm not going to lie. I saw yours behind the scenes, and I almost want to say that's mine. Yours is way cooler than mine. But
wait, that reminds me. Did you hear Covino's fucking rap? Or he did it live. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
It would end up being so fucking lame. It was so funny to watch it when he was so embarrassed himself too. I didn't even put too much thought into it until you told me. I'm like, oh shit! Like I don't think I got the email or the notification.
Yeah.
I hadn't even gone through the motion. So once you asked me for it, I was like, fuck. Hopefully this doesn't turn out to be super lame.
Oh,
So this first shit I thought, and then I'm like, because I listen to like a lot of Apple Music. I got the Apple subscription. That's like a lot how I consume my music. But I
yeah.
listen to Spotify when I'm playing video games and or YouTube and stuff like that. I got a YouTube rap one too. That one was mainly sports and reviews of movies and stuff. But I was so nervous, so I'm glad that at least you thought it was cool.
It was definitely cool. And you know what though? As embarrassing as mine is, it's accurate. So that's why I can't complain. It's very accurate. And the album that it picked as my favorite album of the year, probably my favorite album of the year, and it says I listened to it for like 500 minutes this year or something like that, or I don't know what it was. So it's gonna be embarrassing, but we're gonna get to it. And I'm just telling you guys, it is gonna be so good. But before we get there, let me go ahead and start with a complaint. Now, whoever this is about, I see they're not here yet, and they may not be here. Usually they're future dude, and they do listen to the after show. So I'm calling you out, and I'm gonna get a text from you, but I have to bitch about it because I feel like bitching. So going way back when I did the after show with El Cucuy, somebody hit me up one day and they were like, hey, can I have El Cucuy's number? Blah, 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 blah. I want to hit him up, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, here it is, whatever, whatever. They hit him up. El Cucuy hit me up and he's like, hey, dude, what the fuck? Don't be giving my number out. And I was like, oh, oops. I was like, dog, like, I don't give a fuck who has my number. Like, but I understand, hey, that was my fault. Like certain other people have, they're more private about certain things. So I was like, my mistake. I apologize to El Cucuy, and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, my bad. I should have thought about that. I didn't. I shouldn't have given it out. I'm sorry. Like that was my mistake. I'm not gonna sit here and try to justify it. I just didn't think, and I was like, here you go. So anyway, turned out to be kind of not an issue, but we kind of I was like, hey, my bad, and he's like, fuck, dude, and he just kind of kept going on. I was like, I know, my bad, fuck. All right, I'm sorry, So, said person hit me up again the other day and said, hey, fool, can I have Reinhardt's number? Right? And I put, hey, fool, I can't be giving out numbers like that. Last time I did, somebody got mad. I said, hit him up on social. Reinhardt's all over social media. He's all the Rhino Customs, Rhino this, Rhino that. You look, it's not even like, oh, well, maybe you don't know his handle. His name says Carl Reinhardt. It says Rhino Customs or whatever, but it always says Reinhardt. It always says his name. Not hard to find him if you really want to look for him. He's on the Facebook pages. He's on Instagram. He's on everything. So I was like, hit him up on social. Then I get a response saying, this guy, he goes, this guy, but Cucuy was cool. Yeah, cool to you, motherfucker, but he was bitching at me for a fucking hour, right? Of course he's not going to say fucking bitch at the dude whatever. So he put this guy, but Cucuy was cool. Plus, I lost it anyway, so it's like it didn't happen. First of all, we've already been through this, and I'm telling you, I got bitched at last time I did this, so fucking just kick back. If you want the number that bad, you go find it, right? And then he put, never mind, just wanted a weather report, but the Weather Channel came through. Blah, blah, blah. Then he kept going on and on and on. And then, so I ignored it, right? I'm like, cool, whatever. All right, cool, you're gonna, whatever. So he hits me up a couple days later. And he goes, hey, fool, do you know what radio station Nico's on in Phoenix? Or will you get in trouble if you tell me? And I'm like, oh, now you're being a fucking bitch like that? Now you're gonna fucking be like, dog, it's not my place to be giving people shit out. I already did it one time on accident, and Nico's a stupid ass example because Nico's on the fucking radio. And so if you're gonna sit here and tell me like, or are you gonna get in trouble? Now you're being a little bitch. So now fuck you, because I'm over here like dog. I'm telling you, last time it was an honest mistake. I got bitched at it for it. So I'm trying to tell you, I'm not giving people's personal information out. If you wanted Nico's fucking radio station, I could give you that. Obviously, it's fucking public knowledge. But then when you hit me with the fucking, or will you get in trouble if you tell me? Now fuck you, dog. You could fucking kick rocks and go find it yourself. So fuck that. Yeah. This sounds like an episode of This Fool. but I'm just saying, like dog, like first of all, like I did it once, I got bitched at. You asked again, and I said, hey, you know what? Last time that happened, I got fucking some kickbacks. So I'm trying not to do that. Then come at me again and say, and you know what I'm saying? Just trying to fucking. All right, dog.
I feel like he's either like rubbing salt in the wound, or maybe he's trying to fuck with you, but he's taking it too far.
And Doug,
or like.
And I get it. Like I know this.
Find them on social media, fool. It's easy. Like to your point,
Doug,
like,
but listen,
you can find these fools anywhere.
I've kicked it with this dude in person. Met him, cool. We've always had a good interaction. He likes to break balls. I understand that, but I feel like there's a difference between breaking balls and just being a fucking bitch. Like he's being a fucking dick about it. So I'm like that. There's a difference, and maybe I'm being a bitch about it. And okay, whatever. He's breaking balls, cool. But the thing that pisses me off is that it's not like he hit me up for the first time ever and said, hey, can you give me Luis Cortez's number? And I'm like, hey, doc, which I should have, right? But it's not even like I said, hey, I don't want to be giving people's information out. Like that would have been justified. But the fact that I'm doing it because I've already got told something, I took a step back and I was like, oh, fuck, you know what? I probably shouldn't have done that. And now you're going to fucking sit here and like, ask me for somebody else's, when you know the first time fucking I got bitched at, then you're going to come and ask me some other stupid shit that you could find on the internet of Nico's radio station. And then you're going to be like, or are you going to get in trouble if you tell? Well, fuck, dog. Now fucking, I mean, yeah, we're cool, but fucking just don't come at me like that. I don't like that shit. Like, I don't like it. It pisses me off, to be honest. So, I don't know if you could tell, but it just made me a little mad, you know?
Hey, that sounds like Covino's drama that he had over the weekend. You need your own song. We're like, Danny, it's you. It's you. How does that song go? That should be you.
It's the problem. It's you. Right?
Yeah. It's not. I'm just fucking with you, but nah, bro.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it just pissed me off, dog, because it wasn't even like, it was, the first time he asked, I gave it out the information and then I got fucking bitched at. That's where I'm like, now
that's happened to me too, so I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, hey,
ways.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I get it now. Like I'm like, yeah, that was kind of fucked up. I should have hit him up and been like, hey, is it cool if I give this whatever? Fucking here we are. So anyway, no means no. Yeah, don't fucking have too many drinks around this dude. You're gonna wake up with your butthole fucking hurting.
Fucking.
But anyway, now that I feel better, and
hey, you know what? Welcome to the tablespoon, and that's what anything goes here, bro. And if that means you need a place to come preach and get it out and or give us your 2 cents, then fucking have at it, bro.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate it because yeah, it just didn't rub me the right way. And being like somebody that yeah, anyway, I could go on and on about be nice to this person, but nah, I'm not going to. Anyway, I think I told you, Luis. I don't think I said it though on the show so far, but Covino's gift, I was so excited when I actually created it because I was like, Ertita, I wanted it to be like Jordan colors. So I did it red and black and white. And I had to, Covino was like, it looks that good off of a screenshot. So what I did was when he was doing the house tour, I did a screenshot. And then I had to take it into like AI and upgrade the fucking quality. I had to do that like twice to make it, because it was all blurry. So I had to take it and I had to fix it a couple of times. I had to do it once and then I had to run it through again with the new picture. Then I had to do it to like make it kind of like cartoon-like, but I didn't want to do it too cartoon-like because I wanted to keep like the essence of his grandma. And then I was like, oh, then I went through a couple of, once I had that figured out, I went through a couple of variations of like borders. And then I had like Air Tita. I had like Tita all in caps and I had Air little. And then I did like air all capital, and I did theta in lowercase, and then I did some with the capital T. And dog, there was on my little board of my little fucking my little like different variations. I probably had like 8 different variations. And then finally I called my sister and I'm like, hey, which one do you like? Which one do you think? She's like, that one's kind of ugly. Fuck it. That's why you got to call family, right? They'll be real. And then so I went through. Then I was super happy when Covino showed the picture, the actual shirt, the day they got it in the mail. I was stoked. I was like, oh, cool. Then when he wore it today, I was like, damn it, it's a little too big. So I wish I would have went a little smaller with the actual print on the shirt, but hey, I think he liked it. So he actually sent me a little voice message, and he's like, hey, dude, he's like, my family's like really jealous. They're loving it. So I felt good because like they were talking about gifts, and they were saying like, what do you get Jordan, right? Or what do you get Covino, or what do you get your wife? If you and your wife are buying things all year long, what do you get her? That's something that I'm like, Covino has pretty much everything, right? He's the man. He makes money. He can get himself whatever he wants. That's something that he wouldn't have even have thought of, right? Doing a little house tour, you wouldn't think, oh, somebody's going to take a screenshot of this, you know? And I told him, hey, Doug, I was like, if you were a hot chick, I was like, I wouldn't have done this because it's on the border of creepy. But since you're a dude and you're my homie, there you go. And he was like, nah,
No
dude.
homo.
Yeah, he was like, nah, dude, this is cool. I appreciate it. So yeah, so there was that. Let's go to some.
Yeah, I thought it was very thoughtful, bro, and it was. It was. You know what I mean? So I think the message, the thoughtfulness was really. And they look badass. I think you pulled off.
Oh, and then Jamie in Boston hit me up, and he said he was super stoked because I put a clip up of you showing that medal that he made of the Chargers.
Oh yeah.
So he was super appreciative that we had talked about it and you had showed it. So yeah, so shout out to Jamie in Boston for that.
Hell yeah, man. Appreciate him. He's a good dude.
Yeah. So what Covino and Rich topics do you want to get into today?
I wrote one down because I was kind of part of it, and I know I spoke about it, but it was almost jealous too when Covino was talking about Melody's like concert list. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Like her shit's so badass, especially for how young she is, and like some of those bands here in 10, 15, 20 years, they're just not gonna be around anymore and shit, or just they're gonna be old people, or people are gonna start dying and shit. So it's like that's crazy that she's got to see them and so many at a young age, and I'm jealous and shit. But that's what happens when your dad is who it is, I think too, right? Because they were just at Jingle Balls and all that. So what a great perk! Like everyone, I think if your parents used to work somewhere, like you used to have some kind of perk, right? Like my dad used to work at a packaging facility. Like we always had like fucking extra tape and like bullshit like that. That would just come home. You know what I mean? I remember when my brother used to work at In-N-Out, like whatever was left over, we'd always get that shit. So I mean, it's just kind of something I never thought about. The perks of the family. So that was a good perk for her. And that reminds me of maybe a good question. Did you have any perks? You know what I'm talking about? You pick up what I'm putting down?
Yeah, no, I did. There was some things, like one thing that, I mean, especially in like the mid 90s, when I could go make copies of whatever the hell I wanted to at my dad's work, I was like super stoked, right? Because I'm like, they had unlimited copies, right? So I was doing, I do all like stupid little like Photoshops and stuff. I remember doing a Photoshop of physically cutting out a picture and putting it on another picture and then running a copy of it through my dad's like scanner or whatever I work, and then printing it so it looked like a normal picture. Doug, so that was, but actually I have one that was a perk of a friend of mine who, because I wasn't going to do this on my dad's computer and shit at work, but so I think I've told the story on here before. So if you've heard it, just bear with me. But in my junior year of high school, my teacher, was it junior or senior? I think it was junior year. Anyway, it was math analysis. My teacher, his name was Mr. Davis, right? And he had extra credit dollars, right? And they were called Davis Dinero. So you would get like, you'd take a test and you're like, damn, I'm kind of not feeling this test. You break out some Davis Dinero, throw like 3 extra credit points on that bad boy and turn it in, right? So me going back to, had to be 05 maybe, right? So what I did was I got a Davis Dinero, right? Answered like one question or got it from somebody, scanned it, right? Made it was like a fake dollar with like a picture of his baby. So what I did was I scanned it I took it into Paint. So not even Photoshop. I took it into Paint, cropped it, copied it. I made like, I think there was like 3 wide and like 5 down. So maybe like 15 Davis Dinero on a page. Put it in Paint, printed one of them, gave it to my homie. His name was Brian, but I found out his real name was Clifford. Like, so Doc, he was like, Clifford was corny, so he went by Brian. But I remember
that sounds corny.
So I gave it to Brian, and Brian took it to his mom's work, right? And dog, he must have made like 500 copies of this shit, right? So I have a video that I have on an old hard drive where we're sitting in Davis's class and we're cutting out the Davis Dinero, dog, and we're stacking that shit, right? So we're stacking Davis Dinero, dog. We're fucking passing them out to the bitches, right? Hey, be like, what's up, baby? You know, fucking here's a couple of Davis Dinero. Go buy yourself something nice. Whapa! You know, we're doing all this shit. And then one day we had a fresh batch of Davis Dinero that Brian had just made at his mom's work, right? And his fucking backpack was open. And Mr. Davis happened to be walking by, and he looked and he was like, Brian, what's that? And I'm like, yeah, Brian, what's that? Right? Dog. So fucking
The jig was up.
I'll give it to fucking corny ass Brian, because he didn't say a fucking word. But it's because everybody in the class that knew about it was looking at him like, you better, motherfucker, you better not say shit, right? So, dog. So
everybody was going to go down.
So he took the rep. You know, shout out to Brian. Shout out to Clifford if you're out there somewhere. So, dog. So then Mr. Davis took him out of his bag, and he fucking went to the front of the class. And he was so pissed, dog. He was like, I try to give you guys opportunities for extra credit, you know, and I try to be out of the goodness of my heart. And dog, he fucking lectured us for like 30 minutes. And I'm like, damn, Brian, why you gonna fuck up like that? You know, like we're over here like, oh. And then dog, my buddy Luis that I've talked about on the show to nauseum, you know, I remember he was like, dude, Mr. Davis fucking hates your guys' class. And I was like, for real? He was like, yeah, dude. He was like, because I had him 4th period and Luis had him 1st period. He's like, every morning, dude, all he does is talk shit about your guys' class. and I was like, so dog, at the time, going off on a little tangent, we had those desks that were one person with the seat attached to it, right?
Yeah.
So it was
open.
No, it didn't even open. It just fucking
slid in.
Yeah, you slid in.
Yeah.
So dog, so there was rows that faced the teacher. Dog, he sat me in the front because I would never shut the fuck up, right? So you know what I did? Whenever I'd come into class, every fucking start of the class, I would just flip my fucking seat around. So I was facing the class, right? And he got to a point, Doug, where he just stopped telling me to turn it around because he was like, fuck, every day after telling this shit, he just gave up. So, Doug, I have a picture. Oh, you know what, Doug? I might have, real quick. Let me see if I can find some old picture real quick.
Dude, you were the Frank Abagnale Jr. of fucking Arizona, apparently. You're making this.
The
what?
what?
Like Andrew stated, the Frank Dinero. Oh, he's the guy from Frank Abagnale Jr. is the name of the guy from Catch Me If You Can.
Oh,
you ever seen that movie? Because he was making all that money. So I'm saying you're the fucking Arizona version of him making all that fake fucking dinero.
Doug. So look at, can you see this shit right here? I'm turned around facing the class. That's my friend Erica in the corner. Doug, my seat's turned around. And my fucking shirt says Slackers gets all the chicks, dog. And it fucking look it has a dude in a car with all kinds of bitches. Where is it?
That's like the old stick figure ones, yeah.
Yeah. So dog,
that used to be a thing back then.
My shit's turned around facing the classroom. So that was the place we made the Davis Dinero, dog.
Pórtate bien, Daniel. They were telling you.
I'm trying to see if there's any pictures of the Davis Dinero, but no. But yeah, dog. So that was Brian fucking up, dog. Brian, dog. You know what's funny as fuck is that I remember I had a teacher in high school and she got mad at me. And she actually told my buddy Luis that he was hanging out with the wrong crowd and I was his only friend. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck does that mean? Right? And which is funny because she was my English teacher, which up until like a year ago, for the past like 10 years, dog. She was a colleague of mine. So she ended up or she left like the high school and she ended up going and working for the college. I ended up working for the college and I'm like, hello. I was like, what's up, lady? Now we're colleagues, you know? So I was like, oh, how quickly times change.
Andrew wants to know your homie got in trouble.
Did he get suspended? Nah, he just got fucking Davis is cool like that though, dog. I seen him years later. He was working for some accounting place because he quit teaching. And dog, he fucking I remember one day he got mad at me because I remember my friend Martina. She was this there were these twins, right? And she had given me her fucking paper to like turn it in or whatever, right? And so fucking she had turned it in already and I guess she got it back. So what I did was I saw some crime shit, like some crime show where it was like, it said when people try to cross out names and shit, they fuck up and they like squiggle, right? And then like they erase or whatever. And you can still see the original name through it, just through a fucking bunch of lines, right? So what I did was I was like, I'm going to turn this shit as my own. I'm going to turn it in, but I don't want the fucking teacher to know that. I don't want to get Martina caught up, right? Because she fucking hooked it up. Shout out to Martina. And then, so what I did, dog, was it said like one of the things you're supposed to do is write like different names and different letters and shit. So I wrote like fucking John Lopez and erased it. And then I wrote like Diego Sanchez and I erased it. And then I wrote like fucking Sherry Thomas and I erased it, right? So by the time I wrote my name, you couldn't tell whose it fucking was, dog. You just knew it wasn't mine, right? So Mr. Davis, dog, he fucking calls me and he's like, Daniel, come here. I was like, all right. And I had just turned my shit in and I was like, fuck. And he was like, hey, he's like, I know this isn't yours. And I was like, right. He goes, but I cannot figure out whose it is. And I was like, okay. So he gave me credit for it. Bam, bam, bam.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, dog. Fucking. So.
That's some G
shit, huh? Oh, dog. One more high school story real quick. So fucking, all right. So we had to do all of like the state capitals, right? When I was like maybe a sophomore or some shit.
I hate that. I remember that.
Yeah. So we had to do all of them, right? And I was like, fuck this corny ass shit, dog. I'm not going to learn fucking Des Moines is fucking Iowa, which all these years later jokes on me because it fucking sticks, right? But I remember, dog, I was like, man, and we had to get 100% on it, right? Or else we weren't going to fucking be able to get the credit for that assignment. And I was like, dog, I fucked up. I didn't pay attention all fucking semester or whatever the fuck it was, all week or whatever we had to do it. And I was like, fuck. So we had like a practice one that we got to do and do that, like work on it or whatever. And then when he gave us the real test, it was the same exact one we had done, but it was just blank, right? So my ass is like, I had turned it in like third period. So in fifth period, I was in student council. So I was like, you know what? I was like, fuck, I have the leisure to walk around and fucking bullshit or whatever on that period. So I go with my friend Carmen and I have the practice one in my pocket. And I was like, fuck, I need to go talk to the teacher and kind of distract him. And maybe I can like switch it out. I don't know where our classes period is, but I just need to get there. Once I'm there, I'll figure this shit out, right? I just need to get in the vicinity. Took my friend Carmen with me. Shout out Carmen. She's still a good friend of mine. And I was like, maybe she could distract him and I'll fucking do the switcheroo, right? So, dog, we get up to his classroom, dog. The door's wide open. And I'm like, fuck, all right. Just going to walk in and be like, hey, I had a question about, next Thursday. I was already thinking of some shit I could tell him. Dog, and we walk in and the fucking stack's right there on his desk, dog, and he's not in the classroom. And I go, all right, pulled out my shit, dog, and I was all, woof, 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 pulled out mine that was like half empty, and fucking guess who got an A on that fucking test, dog?
Hey, you straight James Bond that shit on.
Dog.
That sounds like some 007
Well, dog,
shit or some Mission
I was
Impossible
like,
shit.
I know what I need to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but step one is to get there. I can do that. I can do that.
We'll figure it out.
Anyway, Doug, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I don't know if we have damn, you were scandalous. Yeah, I was. Whatever. But anyway, we have. I don't know if you want to do the Spotify Wrapped right now. If you want to do when does it get what was it? When does it get fucking zesty?
Zesty.
I don't know if you want to do that, but we could do Spotify Wrapped right now.
Whatever you want, homie.
Let's do Spotify Wrapped. I'm a little embarrassed, but Spotify Wrapped. Fuck it. Let's do Spotify Wrapped. All right. Let me go ahead and pull the screen up right here. The after show, but later, Spotify Wrapped, brought to you in part by the Chargers. Great win last night, right? They brought this together, so we're gonna actually have to go ahead and watch this. Spotify Wrapped. We'll go ahead and start with the one. Let me see if I can fucking pull the sound right here. I'll be honest. I've looked at mine already, and let me see if this is connected to the. It is. All right. Let me tell you how mine was a little bit. So I don't know if you heard that, but George Lopez said it was mas puto. That was mine. Mine was a little bit, if you just want to know for future reference, mas puto. So anyway, let's go ahead and start Spotify Wrapped. Top 5 genres for your boy D. Coming in at number 5, we have Mexican or Música Mexicana, right? Nothing to be sad about there. No shame in that. We got fucking Los Tigres del Norte. We got fucking Los Tucanes de Tijuana, right? We got some, maybe a little bit of Jenny Rivera in there. Maybe her brother Lupillo. I don't know, Doc. We got a couple of people in there. Marco Antonio Solis, which you can't go wrong with. Los Bukis, right? So number 5. Got some good songs in there. Number 4, R&B, which I only fuck with 90s, early 2000s R&B, right? Rhythm and blues is the actual R&B, but what I'm talking about is like Ja Rule and fucking LL Cool J and shit. So that's the R&B coming in at number 4. Number 3, we have emo, which I was a huge fan of AFI. Who else fell under that? Like, I guess Panic at the Disco, maybe a little bit of what is it? Fucking My Chemical Romance, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I fucked with all of them back in the day, I'll be honest. Number 2, acoustic country, which I can't be mad at. Acoustic country, I like a lot of Brad Paisley, Tim McGraw, Alan Jackson. I fuck with all that. Now, this one I'm a little confused at. Coming in number 1, we have pop rap. What the fuck is pop rap, dog? What would even fall under?
What do you always listen to? I mean, pop. What are they even classifying as that?
I don't know, because what I listen to a lot is my everything playlist. So would that be like fucking maybe T-Pain or some shit? Like popular fucking rap dude? I don't know. Fucking, but anyway, coming in at number 1, we have pop rap. This isn't the embarrassing part. So let's go ahead and get to the embarrassing part, because it's not a good show unless we're embarrassing the host. So up next, we have top artists and top songs. Coming in at number 5, we have Michael Jackson. I'm not embarrassed about that one. All right. I love the king of pop. He made me love pop music when I was a kid. Michael Jackson. I love the Jackson 5. I've seen This Is It more times than anybody probably on earth. Coming in at number 4, Sabrina Carpenter. All right. Mind your business. All right. We'll just keep it at that. I like Sabrina Carpenter. Number 3, O-Town. Is that a surprise to anybody? That's all I'm saying, Doug. I'm not proud of it, but it's the truth. Coming in at number 2, Backstreet Boys, and coming in at number 1, Taylor Swift. And I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, the life of a showgirl is probably why. And no, I dig Speak Now, that album, first album. Let me see, the self-titled debut album of Taylor Swift. So these were all on there, which all encompass the reason for Taylor Swift being number 1. Top songs, we have Bodies. Let the bodies hit the floor, all right? Come on now. I might have some gay-ass shit on fucking the top artist, but at least I have a cool song as my top number 1.
Hell yeah.
All right, so let's start off with number 5. Number 5 is Golden by the K-pop Demon Hunters. That one I actually have a reason for that one. I take my daughter to school every morning, and she created a playlist called K-pop Demon Hunter Bangers. So we got to listen to that every morning. I'm pretty sure that's how that made it on there. 4, 3, and 2 are all Sabrina Carpenter. So I can't even be mad though, dog, because I like every one of those songs. When Did You Get Hot? Sugar Talking, Go-Go Juice. Go-Go Juice is probably my favorite song on that album. But it is what it is. I'm not surprised by your top 5, says Andrew Sims. All right. And you know what? It's not cool, but it's accurate. Like one time my boss was like, when she got her new ID, she was like, or her new name badge or whatever. I was like, hey, do you like your picture? She goes, okay, does it look like me? Yes. Do I like it? No. And that's how I kind of feel. Does this represent me? Yes. Do I wish it was cooler? Yes. All right. What do we have next? Coming in at, your top album of the year, Man's Best Friend by Sabrina Carpenter. Fuck anybody that wants to make fun of it because that's a good ass album. And Covino was mad when it came out because he was like, this shit's trashy. She's fucking dirty. I don't want my daughter listening to that shit. And you know what? He's right. But I dug it. It's a fucking good album. It's a good fucking pop album. So fuck everybody. And then let's see. Oh, I have my Joe Rogan. So I listen to a majority of my podcasts on Apple Podcasts or YouTube. So the only one that I listen to on Spotify is Joe Rogan. So what I put on here is actually how many minutes that I've listened. I've listened to Joe Rogan this year, 29,000 minutes, which I don't know what that comes to in hours. What's 29,000 divided by, let's see. Can you do the math? 29,000 divided by 24? No, divided by 60, right? So 29,500 divided by 60 would give us how much? 29,500 divided by 60.
I put 29 by 60 is 483.
Okay, so 491 is 29,500. So 491 hours divided by 24 hours, 20.48 days of straight Joe Rogan this year. So I think I'm a fan. I mean, people can talk shit and say he's the Oprah for a fucking men over 40. There we go. Magical Mexican says, my rap said my listening was age 43. I'm offended even though I'm 43. Well, I'm 37 and my listening age on my Spotify rap said I was 44. But I don't know how it could say I'm 44 when it's telling me I'm listening to fucking Sabrina Carpenter all day and Taylor Swift. What kind of 44-year-old fucking grown-up is listening to Taylor Swift and fucking Sabrina Carpenter, right? I'm an exception. So I'm saying if they're trying to base it off of my shit, I think the bookies and that kind of shit made it so fucking old that the Taylor Swift and shit kind of averaged it out. So anyway, do you listen to every episode of Rogan? Yes, I do. He had a fucking beekeeper on there one time. That shit was fire, dog. I'll be real. Now coming up next, we have Luis Cortez Jr. So I'm going to preface this by saying his is a lot fucking cooler than mine. All right. So you guys can all fucking eat shit if you want to make fun of me. Coming in, your top 5 genres for Luis Cortez Jr. We have number 5 coming in with reggae rock. What would that be? Would that be more of like a ska type?
Like Sublime and 311 and
okay, I
Slightly Stupid.
I fuck with all of them, right?
Sister Nancy.
Pepper, maybe. I don't know if you fuck with all them, but coming in at number 4, we have hip hop, which you can't go wrong with hip hop, which I'm actually a little surprised on yours because I thought it was going to be genres 5 through 1 were going to be fucking metal. So when I see reggae, hip hop, acoustic country, number 3 is probably my biggest surprise. So who could you tell me acoustic country that you dig?
And and it had to be for somebody like that. When I played it for somebody else, this when I'm kicking it with the homies, they always like to I think it's like Luke Bryan and those guys. It's not my shit, so it's cross contaminated. But that's what I would say.
Yeah,
I'll own it, but it's definitely not me. Not on that one.
Mine's not me either. Oh, number 2, música mexicana. Can't be mad at that one.
Right?
Do you have a couple of favorite artists that from there that you'd want to talk about or no?
Yeah, so that's like Peso Pluma and like Forza Regea and like all the like the uh, cumbias,
Did you see
tumbas, what they call it.
there's actually a Carol G documentary on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's pretty fucking good.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
No, I have to look it up.
It's
Yeah,
it's pretty.
that
It
kind of
talks
shit.
about Doug how like she was like one of like the first like chicks to actually like do like reggaeton, and she was like they showed videos of her. You know, how some people, Doug, like some artists, like a lot of the artists I like are very manufactured. Right? They're like, here, you're fucking pretty. Go out there and sing. We'll teach you how to sing. We'll teach you how to dance. Right? I understand
Like a
that.
plant.
Right? I thought she was one of them, but they have videos, dog, of her like in like the mid '90s and shit when she's like a little kid, and or maybe no, I think it's like late '90s, and she's like 6 and shit, dog, and she's like fucking singing for her tios and shit. I thought that was really cool. So if you guys are in, I think the documentary's in Spanish, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, check that out. Shakira's on it, Karol G, obviously. But I think they even have like Rosalia and a couple of other people make some appearances on there. So it was actually a really good documentary. Coming in at number 1, I feel like you've already kind of filled me in on some of your favorite artists, but we have metal. And so would you consider that like Korn, Metallica, like all that kind of shit?
Good Gojira, Metallica's in there, Corn, System.
Gojira.
Yeah, I mean
I
it's
I think I caught that in
that's
college.
yeah.
Gojira, dog.
Like, it's a French they actually, do you know who they are?
Nah, I don't. That's why I was
They're pretty kind of big. I mean, other than that shit that was on your wiener when you were in high school, they kind of they're French. They're French, but they're big. They're kind of a big rock band. They sing some pretty cool shit. But they kind of their name was out there even more not so long ago when the Olympics. Wow, fuck, that's been a while now, probably, right? The Summer Olympics. They help open the Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
So you know how they did the big river shit.
Oh, yeah.
They were one of the rock bands was just on the side there rocking out.
Gojira.
They're from Europe, so but yeah.
Okay, Gojira. That I've never heard of them, but I mean, that's dope. Now let's see what's coming up next. I don't remember what we have, but we have your top albums of the year. We have Queens of the Stone Age. We have Villains. We have Audio Slave. We have more Queens of the Stone Age. We have Gojira, and we have Rob Zombie. Doug, that is a cool ass list. I'll be honest. I'm jealous, Doug. When people ask me for my fucking Spotify Wrapped, I'm just gonna send them this. Be like, oh yeah, I fucking rock and roll, dog. Like fucking,
You know what's funny? Like a lot of the time when I move to Spotify, usually like I'm at the gym or playing on my computer and or playing video games.
hmm
Um, and so this is like I remember like I'm trying to think when would I listen to all this? So like I try to play Need for Speed,
Yeah.
and so I don't know if you remember that, but they used to play on the soundtrack. They used to have the old school Queens of Stone Age. So now I just kind of make my own soundtrack. I'll go play whatever game. Maybe it's Need for Speed, the new one, and just mute it, and then turn on Spotify on the back and make my own playlist. So I
That's
try to
dope.
reciprocate that old vibe.
It's funny. One of the first times I heard Sublime was during Dave Mira's like BMX fucking whatever
Yeah.
2, whatever that was on PS2. That they had Summertime when you're grinding on rails and shit, dog. That was like the first time like I heard Sublime and I'm like, oh, I kind of fuck with these dudes. And then started listening to, other shit like Burritos and Santeria and all the fucking, all the more popular hits, But yeah, it's so funny because another one that had a good soundtrack when I was a kid, I never played past GTA 2, but it was like it was on PlayStation 1, and it was like an overhead shot of like little cars going and shit, but they always had a dope ass soundtrack too. So now you're building your own soundtrack for games. I dig it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Now, what do we have next? Your top song, War Pigs by Black Sabbath. Do you think that's accurate?
Yeah, probably because like I would use it. I use like it's a more of a gym one, so I think I'd play when I'm getting there to get pumped up, or like when I'm in the fucking sauna dying. I'm like, I need to get motivated, like and then sitting here longer and shit. So I think probably because it's like for me, it's like a motivating song, I mean, so I
Yeah.
do play it pretty frequently.
What's funny is that when you talk about the gym and shit like that, that was when I got into like metal and shit. when I was a kid, like high school, end of high school, early college. My buddy Chris, who he's been in the chat before, he's the one that got me into like Cradle of Filth. Let me see, Children of Bodom, Omerta, fucking who the fuck sings Omerta? Fucking Lamb of God. Lamb of God,
Yeah.
fucking I think there was a couple like Man of War songs. There was dog, all of that shit because it gets you fucking hyped. And dog, we used to work out at Chris's neighbor. He was this old man that had weights. So we would go work out at Phil's. I have a playlist on my phone called Phil's. Dog, that whenever like I'm gonna fucking work out, I'll put on Phil's and then you just get all fucking amped. Ah, that shit's dope.
Hey, hopefully he wasn't like the old guy from Family Guy.
No, not at all. Dog, Phil was such a cool dude, dog. I remember we used to make fun of Chris before I ever met Phil. And we would be, because he'd be like, oh yeah, you know, I was at Phil's. And we're like, who the fuck is Phil? And he'd be like, my neighbor. Be like, your neighbor? You have a neighbor named Phil? Yeah, he's fucking like 80 years old. And we're like, shut the fuck up. Dog, he was this old, I think he was a white dude. Was he white? I don't know. Anyway, he was this old dude. He had a pool and a fucking big ass shed in the back with fucking weights and shit. So we used to go and fucking swim, work out. Fucking, now that I'm thinking about it, dog, might have been
We'll
a
just
little,
stop. Just cut your losses.
dog, now that I think about it, because dog, I'm a big ass dude. My friend Chris, he's like 6'5" and he's fucking built. And so that's who I'd go work out with, right? Because we'd go run canals and shit. He'd run, I'd fucking be behind, like, hey, wait for me, you know? But we'd go run the canals, we'd fucking work out at Phil's, jump in the pool. That's like all we did for like summers on end, you know? And looking back, I'm like, oh, fucking Phil's probably looking through his blinds and shit. R.I.P., you know, Phil passed away, but yeah, that's crazy. Is it Gojira? Is that how you pronounce the name?
Yeah, that's how I say it.
So Andrew says Gojira is dope. That's one of the recommendations I gave you. So yeah, if you guys want to see me check out Gojira, check out DZFreacts. I might have to do a reaction to one of their songs, one of their videos. Okay, if you have to pick a Gojira song that I should check out as a first-time listener, what should it be?
If you want to talk videos, let me just look it up to make sure I give you the right one because it's kind of like a two-parter, but it's the same song. So, but it's a music video too. I think it's called The Chant, and the one before. So there's like an intro to the song. Yeah. So the song is called The Chant, but the song right before it on the album is called Fortitude. So Fortitude is just like a 45-minute instrumental, but it's kind of like working you up.
Yeah.
And then boom, the Chant number 7 song actually kicks in, and it's kind of a good song. It's a badass song to me. It kind of sounds badass. It also has a good meaning too. It's about like if you look into the lyrics and some of the background, it's about like Mongolian people and their way of life. And
it's like I love their fucking food, right?
Nah, it's just like how their struggle, how they've had to fight, like you know, people trying to kill them off, like their tribe and shit. So it's really a song about fighting and survival and shit, not like not giving up. And the story and the music video is really good. So check it out.
All right. I'll have to check it out.
Fortitude and The Chant.
See, you said Mongolia. I automatically started thinking about Ethiopia. It reminded me. Did you ever fuck with Tech Nine back in the day or no?
Yeah.
So there's a lyric that Tech Nine has, dog, that I fucking love, where he says, "I will appear in your mirror through your chest, ripping out your spine, hungry like an Ethiopian, living off the blood in your veins." I'm like, oh shit, Tech Nine.
That is pretty dog.
I will appear in your mirror through your chest, ripping out your spine, dog. Chingado. I'm like, you hear that shit, dog? You're like, where you come?
That's some it shit.
That's some crazy shit. Oh, speaking of, I haven't watched anything since the first It in like the 70s or whatever, right? I remember I was like -30. And but there's that new Dreary Road or some shit. Have you checked it out or no?
That's called Welcome to Derry, and yeah, it's fucking badass, bro. And so right now it comes out every Sunday. I'm caught up. I think episode 7 just came out.
Fuck, dog. See, I want to watch
so
that
badass.
shit, but my wife doesn't like any of that shit. Right. So I'm like, I'm going to have to find some time. I was just talking to Andrew. I showed Andrew Sims my daughter's schedule earlier today. He was like, fuck, dude, she's busy as hell. So I'm like, I'm trying to find a time where I'm not driving my daughter around, and I can watch it. So maybe I can do a reaction to that show. I don't know, but anyway, let's move on. We only have a few more minutes to go.
Sure.
Top artist is Peso Pluma, which makes sense because your
Yeah.
top, one of your top genres was música mexicana. Peso Pluma right there. And all right, so next we have a game called When Does It Get Zesty? And you know what? I actually might, or you know what? You'll see it. It'll be a couple of second delay, but this story is brought to you by Covino's family. So right here, we're going to share this picture of Covino's family, but if you're only listening to the audio, which I haven't put out only audio in months, so you're probably not doing that. But if you're cleaning while you're listening to the after show, there's a picture of a family, and I blurred out the faces for the privacy of the family because they're not the focal point. The focal point of this segment, When Does It Get Zesty, is actually Santa. So if you listen to today's Covino and Rich, they were saying that the Santa that this family went to go take a picture with looks very zesty. So what I'm going to do is let me go ahead and share something. Let's go. Let's zoom in on Santa and see which part of Santa. I wish I could actually, you know what? I might be able to let me see. Color source. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, I'm going to block off Santa's face, and I'm going to go down. And let's just see when it starts to get zesty. Let's start at the top of his head. Okay, zesty? Not yet. Not yet. Now let's keep going down. Forehead? Not yet. I think I got it, Doug. I think the first eyebrow is where it gets zesty. Because I'm trying to think, Doug, like if I saw this picture, because obviously everybody saw this picture and they're like, that Santa is zesty as fuck. So now let me go ahead. The eyes make it like peekaboo, right? I feel like it's saying peekaboo. I think part of also what makes this very zesty is the tilt of the head. Think about every picture you've ever seen. Let me go ahead and black this out real quick. All right, color source. So every picture you've ever seen with Santa, he's sitting, he's smiling, he's looking straight ahead. What did this Santa do in the picture? Turned his head like, hey, right? I think that's what it looks like to me. If you just looked at this picture, you've seen a million pictures, right? We've been seeing pictures of Santa since we were kids ourselves, right? We took pictures. We screamed on his lap. All of us did that. Santa's always sitting, looking forward, holding the kid forward. This is the first time I've ever seen Santa like, what are you doing, sexy? That's the first time I've ever seen that. So I again, let's bring back the color and let's see what makes this really zesty. I think it's the first eyebrow that's kind of lifted. You know, the eyebrow lifted and the head tilt is a giveaway for me. And going down. And something about the crooked smile looks zesty to me. So if I have to get Luis Cortez's input on this, which part of Santa do you think makes him zesty? I think, real quick, and I know I asked you and then I talk over you, but I think a big part of it also is if you look at the entire picture, the way he's sitting with his hand over his lap, like, ooh, don't look behind there. There's something for you, right? I just think, dog, that's just my analysis. Now, what does Luis Cortez Jr. have to say about this?
Bro, first of all, what is this whack ass beard he has? Is this just like a fucking gay biker who fucking dressed up for Santa for the weekend or what? Is
Dog,
this a
I think
weak
that's part
beard?
of it. Is it the beard is too groomed? I think you made
And
a
it's
good
just like
point.
little, like it needs to be more like triangularly, and
But
like
Doug,
white and shag.
it's like,
Usually it's over the top, you know what I mean?
but you know what it looks like? It looks like on those like TikTok videos where they brush it out and then they cut
Yeah.
it with like a fucking clippers and then it has like a perfectly straight line. He has like a, if you look at it, there's like a perfectly straight kind of U shape of the beard.
Mhm.
It's not mangled enough. Not only are the eyes zesty, that's a zesty beard. I thought beards made you manly. I didn't know they could make you more zesty.
His stance is killing me too, though. Like it just looks like, hey, I'm delicate. Like you said, like it
Look at that. Hey, you guys are sitting
and
too close to me. Right? Like
I
like I
definitely agree with Andrew. Like that smirk is probably like the first one. If you started when you started from the top down, the eyebrow was questionable because he's doing that rock, give you the eyebrow up look. You know what I mean, with the little tilt of the head, like.
Doug, he gives you that little
But
I think part of the head tilt, the eyebrow, the beard, it all brings the perfect zest, right? You're not fully clean until you're Santa fully clean, right? Because Doug, that eyebrow is like, what's going on back here? I bet you don't know. Dog, that's how I just 100%, dog, the zestiest Santa I've ever seen.
$50 picture
50, yeah, exactly.
with the sauce. That's the Santa.
Doug, the funniest part about that is Covino said once that the gloved hand on the lap too. Agreed, Andrew. That little gloved hand, and that's another thing. You usually see Santa like this, right? He's jolly, oh ho ho, right? Hugging the whole family. He's like, ew, right? I don't want to get too close, right? It's just like a little too like, ooh, cuties, right? We love the LGBTQ community here, right? More power, but we're just saying that I think that's part of what makes him a little zesty. I think everybody nailed it. I think everybody's contributions, right? I think the tilted head. I think the very cropped beard, the hand on the lap. I just think, Doug, the oh my everything. So I think we just have to thank you guys for playing. When does it get zesty? All right, let's go ahead and I think, Doug, we're right out at. Let me rewind this. We're right at about time for us to call it a day, but I don't know, man. I feel like that Santa zesty. When does it get zesty was a fun segment for me, and again, I apologize for my Spotify Wrapped for all the manly men out there that want to call me a zesty Santa. Feel free to. All right, I'm comfortable with who I am. There's an episode of Smart Guy where Omar Gooding, he plays Mo. They're like, hey, we should play some music. And he's like, we could sing show tunes. And they all look at him and he's all, I'm comfortable with who I am. That's me, all right? I'm comfortable with who I am. Zesty Santa or not. Luis, how do you want to wrap this bad boy up, Dougie?
Hey man, we got 2 weeks before Christmas, so just appreciate you guys for the continued listening and support. So you best know I'll have my Christmas theme going on for Christmas, so be ready and be prepared. Thanks for listening. I seen Andrew mention earlier about the Chargers. Go Chargers! I was at the game yesterday. What a game! And I was
For real?
fucking drained. Yeah, it was a long day, and we went to overtime. Ended up winning, but my voice is shot from being there. I went with my buddy and his kid, so good time there. Looking forward to some football. But man, the year's coming to an end, man. A lot to be grateful for. A lot of just thankful, and thanks for you guys for listening, and thanks for having me. And what's up, future dudes, and on to next Tuesday, 3/18.
Yeah, dog. You know the craziest part is that in November we hit. Let me see. What was it? We started in 2018. So what is that? 7 years? The after show's been around for 7 years. You know, it was rough at some points. We went months at some points without putting out an episode, and then we put out 2 or 3, and then we go another month or so without one. But thanks to you, thanks to El Kukui, we were very consistent for the last few years. So I appreciate you guys and all of your help. Yeah, man, but it's just 7 years of the after show, but later. So I just appreciate your guys' help in all this. I appreciate the people listening. And as always, Covino, Rich, and Spot, thank all 3 of them, but most of all, the one that shows the most love, is Covino. So appreciate that, Covino. Yeah, man. Just couldn't thank them enough for all, not only the support but the years and years of entertainment that they've given to all of us. So after show but later, it's your boys D. It's I almost called you El Cucuy. Fuck. It's fucking muscle memory. It's your boy D. It's Luis Cortez Jr. We will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens. And come and spend a day in the 757.
Hydro,